Hey guys, welcome back. So today I have a makeup tutorial on the look that I'm wearing. This is a really festive holiday look. I also wanted to give you guys some tips on how to have a matte foundation if you have dry skin. Actually, even if you don't have dry skin, even oily people tend to get a little bit drier and flakier skin during the winter months. It's just natural. So if you guys want to learn how to create this look, just keep on watching. So I know for people with dry skin, it's usually a lot more difficult to rock that really porcelain, beautiful matte look. And I'm going to show you a few steps that I take in order for it to be comfortable, in order for it to look good and not look like it's flaking up or drying up. So the first thing, I told you guys this before, you have to exfoliate. There's no way getting around it. You have to get rid of any flaky skin that's just hanging out there and not allowing any of the moisturizers that you use penetrate your skin. So after I exfoliate, I go in with a moisturizer. You can use any moisturizer that you want. So once I'm ready for my makeup application, I'll go in with a primer. So today I'm going to be using the Makeup Primer Spray by Skindinavia. And if you're not familiar with Skindinavia, they're basically the ones that created and invented the setting spray. If you've tried others from other brands that are available at Sephora, chances are that it's probably the same formula as Skindinavia. He's here shaking in there. So this is going to be my primer. It's silicone free, so it's not going to give me that like slippery feel to my face. It's oil free, it's paraben free. Priming your face in the form of a spray is also going to help your makeup adhere to your skin a lot better. It's going to diminish fine lines. I have these really pronounced fine lines right here, and I have a few tips and tricks to kind of get around that. I feel like my skincare has been helping a lot, but also the way that I do my makeup and the process that I take, I feel like has a lot to do with it too, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. I give it a good shake, and then I just spray this all over my face. I just give that a second to absorb into my skin, and then I can go in with my foundation. Now, anytime that I'm going for a really full coverage foundation or just like a porcelain looking type of foundation, I always grab my Estee Lauder Double Wear, and I just love this stuff. So I was gonna start on my foundation, but then I remembered that I'm gonna be doing a really smoky eye. So I'm gonna do my eyes first in case I have any fallout. I can just clean it up, and then I will do my foundation. I'm using the Laura Mercier palette, and I'm using this color Fresco right here. I'm just going to distribute that on the crease of my eye to take away all of that shininess. And I'm also bringing that into the lid of my eye. So I'm just making sure not to go above my crease. We're going to leave that area right below the eyebrow completely clean. And I did already fill in my eyebrows. I used the Hourglass Arch Pencil. This one right here, which I absolutely love. Next, I'm going to take the color Marble from Jouer. This is one of their crayons, and this is a really pretty black, but it does have a little bit of dimension to it. And we're going to make sure to concentrate that color on the base of the lid. And don't worry if it gets a little messy, because we're going to go over it with an eyeshadow. You want to make sure you get as close to that lash line as you possibly can. And now I'm going to switch over to a flat shader brush, and you're going to use that brush to distribute that crayon a little bit. Next, you're going to grab any black shadow that you have on the same brush, and we're going to be patting that on top of that crayon color. You just want to make sure that the black shadow is completely matte. Then I'm going to take a clean blending brush, and we're going to start blending those edges away. You're just going to blend until you can't see where the two colors meet anymore. And you are going to be getting rid of a little bit of that black color, but don't worry, we're going to go back and fix it later. Right now, just focus on blending those colors and making sure that there's no harsh lines. And you're going to go back and add some more of that black shadow to the very base of the lid. And go back and just lightly blend that. Now you're going to take a black pencil. I'm using the one from Butter London, and line. For lashes, I'm using Lily Lashes and Mykonos, and I love this style. I just think they're so versatile. And then we're going to go ahead and cover that lash line with liquid liner. So for the brow bone, you're going to want to take a cream color. I'm using this color Fawn from the Lorac Mega Pro palette, but you can use anything that's close to that shade. And we're going to be applying that on the brow bone. Now I'm going to take this gorgeous cream shadow from Jouer. This is called North Star, and I'm going to be adding that to the inner corner of my eye. So I'm going to take a makeup wipe and just remove any fallout that I have underneath my eyes. So after I clean my eye off, I pretty much removed all of the makeup primer. So I'm just going to take some on a beauty sponge, and I'm going to reapply it underneath my eyes. And I'm going to do one thin coat of foundation first. And if I feel like I need a little bit more, I'll go back in and do a second layer. Okay, so now that I have a thin layer of foundation, I'm going to go ahead and finish out my eyes. I'm going to take the Butter London eyeliner and I'm going to line my waterline. And I'm going to bring it down into my lash line. And then I'm going to take a black eyeshadow and immediately set that. Now that we have this really deep black waterline, I'm going to go back to that same pinkish color that we used on the crease, and I'm going to take that on a pencil brush. I'm going to take that on a pencil brush. I'm going to lightly smoke that black out, and this is mainly so that the black doesn't run into the rest of the foundation. It's going to create a barrier between the actual foundation and the black liner. And we're going to go back and make sure that that black is really popping. And I'm going to add some mascara to my bottom lashes. Now we're going to go back to that glitter and we're going to reapply that. I'm going to bring it in slightly on the bottom lash line. Okay, so that is pretty much it for the eyes. Now that our foundation has had a little bit of time to set, we're going to go ahead and finish out the face. So I'm going to take my Jouer concealer in the color medium, and I'm going to go ahead and conceal the areas around my nose. I'm also going to highlight a little bit underneath my eyes with the Maybelline concealer. So now I'm going to take my Givenchy powder and I'm just going to press that into the lower part of my eye. And I'm just going to use the Beauty Blender to do this. This is also going to prevent it from creasing. I'm also going to press it into my smile lines. I know I look really silly right now, guys, and I look like I'm wearing way too much makeup. But I started doing this, pressing the powder into my smile lines, and I noticed that I don't get as pronounced smile lines throughout the day when I do that. So I just have to make sure to let it sit for a little while. So I'm going to go ahead and dust some of that powder into the lower half of my face. I'm not touching the under eye area yet though. I will dust that off at the very end. So I'm going to go into my Kevyn Aucoin contour book, and I'm going to be using the contour color from here. I'm going to go ahead and start applying that to the hollows of my cheek. Also my chin area. I'm also bringing that into the top of my forehead. So I think that powder has sat there long enough, so I'm going to go ahead and take it all off. So I'm just taking a powder brush and just dusting all of that excess powder away. So I'm going to take the powder contour and just slightly add some definition to my nose. I'm going to take Luminous Flush from my Hourglass palette. We just want a flush of pink. For the lips, I'm going to use this lipstick by YSL in the number 2. It's a really pretty pinky nude color. And I'm going to use this color called Cathedral by Jouer. It's just a really pretty shimmery gloss. So I'm going to use Soft and Gentle by MAC. This is a really pretty pinky champagne looking highlight. So I'm just going to take this right in this area right here. You can see how beautiful that looks. So to lock everything in, since this is something that I would wear to a party or like a really long night out, I would set it with a spray. This one is by Skindinavia. It's basically going to get rid of any of that powder residue. It's also going to make sure it lasts all night long, and it's going to help with the fine lines. So even though I did do the baking method on my smile lines, this is actually going to help with that as well. A lot of times I'll have a little bit of dry patches like on my nose. That is my problem area. After you've already sprayed it, you can add a little bit on your Beauty Blender and then just go back only in the places that have the little dry patches. So like for me, it would be my nose area. And then just gently pat it in the areas that you have a little bit of flakiness or dullness. I've heard in so many hack videos where people will take lotion and they'll pat the lotion on their skin, and I've tried that, and even though it does help a little bit, it leaves a really shiny spot on your face, and that kind of defeats the purpose of trying to hide the patchiness and the dryness. So I think this method works way better. So this video was done in collaboration with Skindinavia, so I do have a discount code for you guys down below with these setting sprays, and primers are amazing, you guys. I would not be talking about them if I didn't love them. So I really hope you guys found these tips helpful. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and I will talk to you guys next time. Mwah. Bye.